Hey guys, it's Josiah here. Welcome to a recap of the Ravens Steelers wild card game that happened on Saturday. I know I'm supposed to be, recapping the 2024 Ravens season in its entirety. All I got to was the first preseason game, and that was it because, as you know, I'm one lazy oaf. But I'm going to try and push through the laziness and actually upload content for stuff since I can grow. Especially since I just created what is going to probably be my final TikTok if TikTok gets banned. I won't be on TikTok at all, obviously, because it will be banned. So it'll give me more of an opportunity to post on here, on YouTube and stuff like that. But as always, if you do want to check me out my other social medias, links down in the description to my @s of all my other social media accounts. Again, you don't have to. It's because I don't support clout. Just as a suggestion by me. But let's go ahead and recap this Steelers Ravens game. Actually, hold on 1 second. Let me get decked up. Let me sport my team. Let me sport my team for a second. Okay, now let's recap the Steelers Ravens game. So yeah, to start off, like in the first quarter, the Ravens pretty well handled business. I think the Steelers, they won the toss and they actually elected to receive. I think they got about a first down or so before they had to punt. Steelers, I'm just gonna say the first half entirely, they had 2 first downs. That was it. All I saw was, I think, a few runs and then like a bunch of catches by Freiermuth on 3rd down, to which he didn't get a first down at all. So there was that. As for the Ravens, I think I don't know if it was their first drive. I think it was their first drive, actually. Yeah, it was their first drive offensively, to where they went down and scored a touchdown. Derrick Henry, there was one point where he was in the Wildcat. Lamar was lined up as a receiver, and then Henry ran Wildcat formation and stiff arm Nika, so that was pretty good. And then, like a few plays later, Lamar threw a touchdown pass to Rashad Bateman, which ended up being his first playoff touchdown for Bateman's career. So good for him. Breakout season. Bateman's been amazing. No Zay Flowers for this game also was huge, especially the impact of this game. What we did, I think definitely Flowers being out, I think definitely helps create more of an opportunity for the run game. That was my phone hitting the whatever this is called, a counter, not a counter, a drawer. Oh my gosh, I can't think. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so we got up 7-0. And again, the Steelers, they had a couple 3-and-outs with Freiermuth and wasn't able to pick up the first down. Darius Washington did a really good job in this game, getting a few good tackles on 3rd down. There was an insane catch by Isaiah Likely. He always gets those insane catches. It's crazy. I think we had a punt on our next drive. I think it was beginning midway through the second quarter where we ran the whole drive. We didn't pass one time. There was a little bit of a scare on 2nd and 13. Lamar got out of the defenders like he always did and ran for the first down. And he kind of got kneed in the back, I think, and he was down on the field for a little bit, extended time. But he got up, and I think he ran for a first down like a few plays later. That's Lamar Jackson for you. My goodness. But we ran the whole drive with Derrick Henry, with Lamar, and they couldn't stop it at all. The Steelers, their most expensive defense, they couldn't stop it at all, just like the first game. Steelers fans were talking about how, it was the injuries, we couldn't stop Derrick Henry. This was a full Steelers team, and they couldn't stop him. So there was that. Derrick Henry got a touchdown. That made it 14-0. So there was that. And then the Steelers punted again, and then the Ravens had a chance to cash in before halftime. And the Ravens did also get the ball to start the second half. So, but they weren't thinking 3; they were thinking 7. I think there was a 3rd down. Lamar got a clutch pass to Bateman. Then he found a wide open Nelson Aguilar, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, all had catches on the drive. Likely stiff armed. I think it was Cam Sutton, who I forgot even existed. Stiff arm to the ground. He didn't get out of bounds, but the Ravens did a good job spiking it. I think it was about 11 seconds left and 2nd to go at the 5. They brought the pressure. They did. I think Patrick Queen was with Justice Hill, but then he kind of left Hill and kind of went toward Lamar, and Lamar was able to get out of it with about a few seconds left on the clock. He was able to find Justice Hill, and he was able to run in for the touchdown with 2 seconds left to spare on the clock before half. And the Ravens took a 21-0 lead at halftime. And I was thinking, wow, oh my goodness, because this is the playoffs and this is Lamar. We have never seen a performance like that by the Ravens in the playoffs in the Lamar era, going up 21-0 against the Steelers. Now Mike Tomlin is a good head coach, But they have last time they won a playoff game, the Steelers had Barack Obama was president. So let's just point that out really quick. The Steelers, they always get a winning record, but then they're always first round exits, so it's not good for them. But I don't know what I'm saying, but for. I'm still trying to. I don't know. Maybe that's why I didn't. Maybe that's why I don't upload consistently, because I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Good grief. I can't even think anymore. I was talking about the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, great head coach. Probably going to the Hall of Fame, but he's, they can't win playoff games. People are saying to fire Mike Tomlin. I don't know if I do that just yet. I don't know. I think wait maybe another year. I mean, we'll see. The Steelers have a lot of free agents. I think Najee Harris, he probably played his last game. People are saying George Pickens played his last game. We'll wait on that. I think Najee Harris probably did. I don't know about George Pickens. We'll see. But the Ravens got the ball for the second half. I don't think they did anything. The Steelers then I think they started the drive at around 2, and then they finally the offense woke up for once, and there was a couple Russell Wilson moon balls. I think there was one to Mike Williams. Then the touchdown was to Van Jefferson for about 30 yards out because, of course, Brandon Stevens, number 21, get off the field. He got cooked the whole drive. I think he was the second most yards. He had the second most yards allowed by any corner in the regular season. He probably jumped to number 1 after the Steelers game. He gets cooked every single game. Every single game. Like, Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey are playing lockdown, and then there's just Brandon Stevens is in a mind of his own. Like, I don't understand. He had a solid year last year, and then just disappeared. He had one good season and then dipped. Like, that was not even a good season, a solid season, and then he dipped. Like, what the heck? Like, this year he's been mid. Tre'Davious White, I think, like, he kind of gets burnt too. I think he got burnt against Mike Williams there, but I think he's better than Brandon Stevens. I don't know if I'd go out and, like, bench Stevens and put White in against the Bills next week. I don't know if I do that or not. Because if it doesn't work out, then you're gonna be scratching your head and like, well that's not good. And then before you know it, you go into Cancun. So I don't know. I'd probably pause on that. But even with that, the Ravens defense since week 11 is like the number 1 defense. So which is crazy because they were giving up every single thing. They were giving up. They like everyone could pass, throw, run, do whatever against our defense. And then we benched Marcus Williams for Darius Washington, and then released Eddie Jackson. That's when our defense turned itself around. So there was that. But there was no stopping the Ravens' offense though, as we continued to run and throw. I think there was a second 20. Tyler Wallace. Something about Tyler Wallace in the sidelines. He was able to go through and pick up the first down. We ran a screen to Steven Sims. I think had a small little fumble. Almost muffed a punt return, but he recovered it. I don't know why we done that a few times against the Steelers. That's weird. We just love to put the ball on the ground against the Steelers. I don't know why. But we didn't this game. We didn't get this game surprisingly. And then Derrick Henry ran off for a 44-yard touchdown. Mini stiff on Patrick Queen. That was hey, you know what? You had your time in Baltimore. Now I have mine. I remember like it was like mid-March that we got Derrick Henry. I think Patrick Queen went to the Steelers 5 minutes after Derrick Henry got signed. Because I think it was simultaneously. Like Geno Stone went to the Bengals, then we got Derrick Henry, and then Patrick Queen went to the Steelers. That all happened within like 30 minutes, I think, of each other, which is crazy. But we went up 28-0. That would be the last points we actually scored of the game. The Steelers would score 7 more on the next drive. More moon balls. Najee Harris was pretty solid. George Pickens beat 2 guys. He beat Nate Wiggins, and then Darius Washington completely whiffed the tackle, and Pickens caught it and did a spin move. But that was a pretty sick spin move, and he got in for the touchdown, and then like did this because I don't know who he thinks he is. The Steelers were down by 14. But George Pickens is George Pickens though. A lot better than he did against the Bengals. He had 1 catch for 0 yards and 6 drops and a temper tantrum and all that good above. But anyway, so that would be the last points scored of the game. I don't think anyone scored on in the fourth quarter. That's the only real thing. The Steelers, they went for it on 4th and 15, trying to get some momentum back. I think it was like a must. They had to do it. There was about like 8 minutes left in the game, and they didn't get it. They tried to throw a deep that moon ball to Calvin Austin, triple coverage, and Darius Washington broke it up. They did that at week 16 too. I think they tried to do it to Austin or something, and Kyle Hamilton was there to deflect it. So there was that. The Ravens also went forward on their own 40 on 4th and 1. And Andrews was under center, I think, a lot on every like 3rd and inches, 4th and inches, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. He was there. He got it, barely got it, and the Steelers even had 12 men on the field, so we were able to get away with that. The Ravens ended up holding on for the win, even though it was kind of a little shaky in the second half. But we had such a good first half. I think that was it. I think that was just that. So we ended up beating the Steelers. Final score ended up being 28-14 in favor of the Ravens. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. Russell Wilson, his stats actually look pretty solid. Even though that first half was garbage, he's actually did pretty good. He was 20 for 29, 270, and 2 touchdowns, no picks, no turnovers. Justin Fields was over 1. I don't know what they were trying to. I think he was on the field for like 5 plays max, and like Fields just didn't do anything. I don't know. Like they used Fields wrong in that game. I don't know what they were doing. The run game sucked. Najee Harris 6 carries for 17 yards. Russell Wilson 3 carries for 6 yards. Jalen Warren 2 carries for 6 yards. Anyways, so receiving was led by George Pickens, no surprise. 5 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Najee Harris did way better in receiving than he did rushing. 3 receptions for 41 yards. Van Jefferson 2 receptions for 37 yards and a touchdown. Mike Williams 1 reception for 37 yards. Calvin Austin 1 reception for 25 yards. Jalen Warren had 4 receptions for 19 yards. Pat Freiermuth had 3 receptions for 15 yards. And Darnell Washington had 1 reception for 9 yards. So there was that. Defense, not a whole lot to say. Leading tackler was E. Roberts. I forgot his first name. I'm so sorry. I'm not a Steelers fan. I don't know all the players. There was 1 sack by Alex Highsmith. T.J. Watt had not a single stat line in the game. So let's give a round of applause to Roger Rosengarten, our rookie O-lineman from Washington, who locked down T.J. Watt all night. It was crazy. Just the game before against the Browns, he was saying like to Myles Garrett, "Hey, I know I could get that jersey, but I'm a nobody." And Myles Garrett was like, "Hey, you're in this league and you're winning games. You're never a nobody." Like that was beautiful. I think it's just a hint that Myles Garrett's coming to Baltimore. I'm just saying, if he comes to Baltimore, it's over. That's what I'm gonna say. Now let's go over to the Ravens side. So Lamar Jackson, look at his passing game. It's pretty quiet, but it's not bad. 16 for 21, 175, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. Playoff Lamar, 0 turnovers. So let's put that out. So he didn't throw the ball a whole lot, but he didn't really need to. Not just the fact that we didn't have Zay Flowers, but Derrick Henry had 26 carries for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's like there was no need to throw at all. And Lamar also had 15 carries for 81 yards to boot also. Sims had a carry for 15 yards. Hill had 6 carries for 12 yards. Hill kind of struggled in the run game. Andrews had 2 carries for 5 yards as well as tush pushes. The receiver was led by Isaiah Likely, who had 3 catches for 53 yards. Andrews had 2 catches for 27 yards. He finally did get in the end zone. He's been in the end zone for a lot, it seems like, in the second half of the season. Didn't get in the end zone here. Aguilar had 1 catch for 25 yards. Bateman 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown. Wallace one catch for 21 yards. Hill 4 receptions for 13 yards and a touchdown. And Anthony Miller, elevated from the practice squad, 3 receptions for 12 yards. Defense, leading tackler was Adarius Washington, 5 tackles, 2 sacks by Matabike. How about that? And 1 from Oweh. So 4 sacks. Michael Pierce got a sack. I forgot about that. Shout out to Michael Pierce. That big man interception against the Browns was great. The bus was out of gas. Wasn't out of gas on that sack. I'm just saying that right now. So there was that. That's about it as far as stats go. So to sum up, listen, the Ravens, that first half was great. I had never seen a playoff Ravens team like that. That first half was great. If we play like that in the first half, like we did in the first half against the Bills, against any team in the playoffs, we might actually win the whole thing. I'm just going to say. The second half, again, a little shaky. But the Steelers, they were on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. So if we lost to them, it would not be good. The Steelers, their struggles in the playoffs recently. But Lamar's always struggled in the playoffs. And, you know, people or Steelers fans are saying, oh, their defense was injured. We didn't have George Pickens. Lamar, playoff choker. Well, he's 1-0 against the Steelers in the playoffs. Say what you want about his record in the regular season against the Steelers. But against the playoffs, he's 1-0. Just saying. So, say what you want about that. And Lamar has his 3rd playoff win, 2 playoff wins in the last 2 seasons. He's finally, I think, starting to turn a corner with his playoff record. He's definitely locked in. He's definitely determined. The first person that wants Lamar Jackson to win a ring is Lamar Jackson. I can definitely tell he's hungry, and everyone knows he is. And let's hope we can get there. But first, we gotta get to Buffalo. I don't. It's gonna be a very tough game. We blew them out, 35-10 back in week 4. Derrick Henry, they couldn't stop him then. Henry, I think, has had like over 130 rush yards in the last like 4 or 5 games. So good job to the King. All hail the King. He was great. He's been great recently. Great season for him. Great pickup on that. It's gonna be tough though. Definitely don't think it's gonna be like last time, unfortunately. Especially since we're playing in Buffalo. There was one I forgot about, an incident that happened against the Steelers where they wanted the crowd to quiet down with the MVP chants. Yeah, you can't do that against the Bills. If Josh Allen's making a good play and crowd's chanting MVP, guess what? You have no control over that, Ravens. You have no control. I'm just saying. But I don't know. I do think the Bills are actually going to win. I think my final score is probably like 30. I'll go a little lower. I'll say 27-21 in favor of the Bills. But of course, I hope I'm wrong. We'll see if the Ravens can pull it off. Both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson looking for their second AFC Championship appearance. We'll see if Lamar wins. He'd be at 500 in the playoffs, which is crazy to think about because everyone says he always chokes in the playoffs. But that's his real test. Again, people are saying the Steelers didn't count. Okay, sure. His real test, I guess, is next week. But, again, the Steelers, they're struggling. I understand. But it's also the Steelers, and it's always good to beat the Steelers. 2-1 against the Steelers this season. How about that? A winning record against the Steelers this season. How about that? But anyways, we'll see what we can do against the Bills. I'm confident in us. I think we can pull it off. I think we're going to fall to the Bills, but I hope I'm wrong, and hopefully we can get it done and go to the AFC Championship for the second straight season and hopefully win it, unlike last season. Against the Chiefs, probably, because unless the Texans beat the Chiefs, which would be freaking hilarious if they do. But if anyone has to check down the Chiefs, I want it to be us. Come on, I'm not scared. I want the Chiefs. We want a rematch. We want a rematch. We're hungry, for crying out loud. But anyways, so good job by the Ravens. Sent the Steelers to Cancun. We'll see if we can do it to the Bills next week. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this Ravens review. I think today at practice, Zay Flowerless missed practice, so his status for Sunday is a little up in the air. Deontay Hardy was the only other Raven on the injury report. He was full, both Flowers and Hardy dealing with the knee injury. He still needs to be activated off IR, but we'll see. We also got Deontay Johnson back, which I don't know why, but we did, and he's also not even going to play because he's not eligible or something. It's confusing. Just go look at it because it's so confusing. I don't know. I've read this story like 5 times. I don't know what the heck we're doing with Deontay Johnson anymore. But that's gonna be it. Hope you guys did you enjoy. Smash like, subscribe, hit the little tiny notification bell. That would never miss any new videos just like this one. As always, is clout, and I don't support that. So just do it as is suggested by yours truly. And I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that comes out. See you guys then. Bye.